There was a time when the Ford Focus ST was the hottest hot hatch available. Back in 2005, Ford unveiled its most powerful Focus ever, with a 5-cylinder 225 horsepower engine, which at the time was a bit of a monster. Suddenly, it made Volkswagen's Golf GTI look like a bit of a lumbering slow coach. But the hot hatch game has really moved on since then, and the Focus ST is no longer at the pinnacle. The forthcoming Mercedes-AMG A45 has more than 400 horsepower, and even within Ford, the Focus RS has 345 horsepower and is hogging all the glory. So what place is there in the world for this, the all-new Focus ST? Well, for a start, it's considerably cheaper than some of those monsters, with prices starting at less than £30,000, which makes it a realistic option for more people. This is a hot hatch that's a little less hardcore than some of the more higher-end stuff available. It takes on the likes of the Golf GTI, the Hyundai i30N, the Mercedes-AMG A35, and the Honda Civic Type R. It comes in two flavours, petrol or diesel, and will hopefully play the family hatchback or estate game, but at the same time come alive to wow drivers with precision, power and panache. Inside you'll spot the ST by its figure-hugging sports seats, but other than that, it's standard Focus in here. That means good, if not quite brilliant, build and material quality, plenty of space in the back and a decent-sized boot. There's only one trim level and it's got pretty much everything included, from adaptive cruise control and aircon through to heated seats and keyless entry and start. There are basically two versions of the ST, the diesel and the petrol. Let's talk about the diesel first. It's a 2-litre 190 horsepower engine and it's fine. It's strong, it's got lots of grunt, although only between about 1,500 and 3,000 RPM. If you try and put your foot down and make it sing, it sort of runs out of puff quite quickly. The weird thing is, if you treat it like a Focus with quite a powerful diesel engine, it's really good. The trouble is, when compared to the petrol, it doesn't feel quite enough like an ST. We drove the estate version of the diesel earlier on today and had a really good time with it. Standard Focus drives pretty well, and this version drives even better. It's pretty quick, it's got sharp handling, and in the estate form, it's got lots of practicality as well. Now we're in the petrol version, which is a very different story. This has a 2.3-litre turbocharged engine taken from the Ford Mustang, and it's got considerably more thrust with 280 horsepower. The petrol engine is a world away from the diesel, good as the diesel is. This is much stronger and beefier, and has tons of power all the way through the rev range. The petrol is about £2,500 more than the diesel, but as well as that extra 90-odd horsepower, you also get a lot of extra technology. To start with, you get adaptive damping, which is basically a more sophisticated suspension setup that uses all sorts of clever tech to keep things even more in control through the corners. We're driving in the south of France, where the roads are genuinely pretty good, and the ride quality is a little bit bibbly-bobbly. I do wonder how it'll cope with British B roads. The steering initially feels a little bit funny. It's sort of rubbery when you first start to turn it, almost as if the wheels are attached to bungee cords. But once you get used to that, it's really nicely weighted and it's easy to be really precise with where you're turning. On top of that, you get an electronically controlled limited slip differential, which helps control traction as you come rocketing out of corners. All that working together means that the petrol ST feels much more like the full-fat ST experience. It is, frankly, pretty much everything you'd hope an ST would be. It treads a really nice balance between being a Focus and all the practicalities that come with it, but with genuinely enjoyable experiences behind the wheel. At launch, you can only get the ST with a 6-speed manual gearbox, which is excellent, but if you do need an auto for any reason, you'll be able to get one before the end of the year. We are big fans of the standard Ford Focus here at Autotrader, and the new ST does absolutely nothing to change that. It's important to differentiate the petrol and diesel STs. Both are very good, but in different ways. The diesel ST adds a sporty edge to the regular diesel Focus, with improved performance and more fun, while keeping sensible with things like good fuel economy. The petrol car, on the other hand, is the full ST experience. Technically impressive, well kitted out, very quick and great fun to drive. Is it the best reasonably priced hot hatch available on the market? Well, it's up against some very stiff competition, and we'd want to drive it back on UK roads to really come to that conclusion. But based on our experience so far, it's well up there. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, comment below and let us know what you think of the Focus ST, and don't forget to subscribe to the Autotrader YouTube channel. We've got loads of great content to help you find your next car.